What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and today we are going to be talking about weapons, specifically weapons that are going to be in Call of Duty World War II. And believe it or not, we actually have quite a lot of information supporting probably just upwards of 10 weapons that are confirmed to be in the game. Whether these be from images in the trailer, or whether they be actual images that Sledgehammer has given us themselves, we have a lot of information about these weapons. Now, before we get into this video, I got to preface this with saying, by no means am I a weapons specialist. The basic information that I have about weapons is gained through Call of Duty and a bunch of research on Google and Wikipedia. So pretty much all the information you're hearing from me today is my information that I've got from Googling or information that I got from playing older Call of Duty games. And the point I'm getting at here is if I say this weapon looks like a certain weapon and I'm wrong, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. Remember that we're a community, and by you correcting me, we are able to learn more about the future Call of Duty game, and that's freaking awesome. So let's start off by looking at the 4 weapons that Sledgehammer actually told us were going to be in the game. This happened during the World Reveal livestream, and these 4 weapons include the first one, the M1 Garand. Now this weapon we probably heard the most about out of any weapon we saw in trailers or through the live stream. And the one interesting thing about this weapon is in certain Call of Duty games, you actually have to fire all of the bullets to actually reload this weapon. In other Call of Duty games, like Call of Duty World at War, you could just reload the weapon at free will. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that one out. So the next weapon that's guaranteed to be in the game is the MG42. Now this weapon we have actually seen before in Call of Duty World at War, and throughout the trailers and stuff, we saw many people carrying this weapon and even firing off the top of a tank. So this will be a pretty prevalent weapon throughout the game. This next weapon is a weapon I don't really know much about, the M1903. It's a bolt-action sniper rifle, and this has really been the only sniper rifle that they guaranteed us will be in the game. We don't know whether there's going to be a Springfield, Arisaka, or what. This is the only one that has been guaranteed so far. Now next up we've got the grease gun, and when I first saw this gun, it originally looked to me like the MP40 from Call of Duty World at War, but after doing some research, this fires a 45 caliber round. The SMG in Call of Duty World at War that fired a 45 ACP round was the Thompson, so this gun is actually more similar to the Thompson than it is the MP40, even though it kind of looks more like the MP40. These next 2 images we're going to look at here were found on callofduty.com/classified using like the zombie cipher, and the first images we're looking at here is the Sten submachine gun. Now this is an interesting submachine gun. It was originally used by the British and Commonwealth Army during World War II, and this weapon was so prevalent that it actually got used all the way into the Korean War. This is an interesting weapon, kind of looks to me a little bit like the Type 100, but once again, that's another SMG that'll be in the game. The next weapon we got here is the M1A1 carbine. Now this is the 30 caliber assault rifle that was originally used by the US military during World War II, and once again got carried over all the way into the Korean and Vietnam War. Now this weapon was in Call of Duty World at War and was definitely one of my favorite weapons to play with in that game. It was kind of like a faster fire rate semi-automatic weapon with a little bit lower recoil. I really enjoyed this weapon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this is like in Call of Duty World War II. So next up, we're actually going to have to go ahead and look at the trailer, kind of break it down, and try to find some weapons that they haven't actually shown us yet. The first one, this image is taken from the very end of the trailer, and if you look at his breast pocket there, you can see a pistol. Now this looks identical to an M1911. This is a weapon we've seen before in Call of Duty World at War, many other Call of Duty games, but the thing that really gave it away to me was the wooden grip handle. That's like the kind of iconic thing to me that signified that this was an M19, and that's what I recognized right away. Also, looking at some other images from the trailer, if you look at the guy second from the left, in his hand, I also believe that pistol to be an M1911 too, but I really have no proof of that. It's just what it looks like to me. Now next up, we've got the scene of this German soldier pulling out a pistol and shooting someone what appears like in the head. Now, when originally I saw this video clip, I thought right away that this was a Luger, because the Luger is like the iconic German soldier pistol from World War II. But upon doing some research, during this Call of Duty game, Call of Duty World War II is supposedly taking place between 1944 and 1945, towards the end of World War II. And at that point, the German pistol of choice was no longer the Luger. It was a pistol called the Walther P38. And believe it or not, back in Call of Duty World at War, that was the pistol we could use as the German pistol back in that game, the Walther. So my guess is that this actually isn't a Luger, it's more likely to be the Walther. They have very similar looks, and just based on the time frame, the Walther was actually the pistol that replaced the Luger because the Luger was much more expensive. Next up, we got some development images of a bazooka here. It looks identical to this picture here, which is an M1 bazooka, which was used as an anti-tank weapon by the United States Army, and literally just this image looks too much like it to not be a bazooka. And then we got the flamethrower. So this was seen a few times throughout the trailer. The flamethrower will definitely be in the game. The question on this one is whether it will be in multiplayer, and if so, how are they going to implement it? Will it be some sort of specialist weapon? Will it be a kill streak? Really, only time will tell for that, but no matter what, it will be in the game, whether it be campaign, zombies, or whatever. It's guaranteed to be in there. So those are the weapons that I could pretty easily recognize. The next two weapons we are going to look at here were a little bit harder for me to recognize, and I'm kind of going out on a limb and naming these. These are the weapons where I really need your guys' opinion to hear what you guys have to think. So, the first one is this image right here. See the thing laying on the ground there, the thing with the handle sticking up? I've heard a lot of people that say that this weapon looks like the bar. The bar was originally in Call of Duty World at War. To me, this looks nothing like the bar. The weapon that this looks like to me is the Type 99. That handle sticking up looks like the iconic handle from the Type 99, which was also a weapon you may have seen from Call of Duty World at War. So this final one is a stretch. It's this video clip right here, and I'm gonna play this over and over again for you here, but this weapon to me looks like the SVT. The SVT was once again in Call of Duty World at War, and the SVT, the thing that really kind of hones this one in for me, is the shape of the iron sights. The iron sights at the very tip of the weapon look exactly like the iron sights, the ones I recognize from Call of Duty World at War, and that's really what stuck out to me. And there's also a couple of other images from the trailer that kind of look like this weapon to me, but by far, out of all of the weapons we've talked about so far, this is the biggest stretch out of all of them. There could be other assault rifles that have the same kind of iron sight that's not necessarily an SVT. This weapon is by far the biggest stretch out of any of them that we've talked about today. Now, the thing I'm going to leave you with at the end of this video is this image here. Now, this image was brought up when they were talking about how they tried to improve the realism of Call of Duty World War II by looking at real-life items and then kind of implementing them into the game. This here is a board that they showed that has many weapons that we've already talked about in this video, including the Grease Gun, M1 Garand, M1A1 Carbine, but there's also a few weapons on here that I don't quite recognize, and this is what I'm going to leave to you guys. You can let me know down in the comment section below some of the weapons and other things that you do kind of recognize. A couple of things that I recognize are the bar down on the bottom right. Also at the very bottom right, you can also see a revolver as well. So the question is, are all of these weapons going to be in the game, or is just this an example of some World War II museum somewhere that really has nothing to do with what's going to be in the game? But guys, let me know down in the comment section below which weapons here you recognize, what ones you don't. Let me know which ones you think will be in the game. All of that down in the comments. And also, I put a lot of work and a lot of research into this video, so if you could go ahead and leave a like rating, that would be very greatly appreciated. I'm considering doing a series in the future where I just make a video talking about a specific weapon in World War II, its impact on the war, and what it might look like in Call of Duty World War II. If that's something that interests you, let me know down in the comments, and also leave a like rating to show me that that's something you want to see. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe. I got many more Call of Duty World War II videos coming in the very near future, so stay tuned for that. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, peace out. Comes and goes.